Hi there, Celia Gates here, founder of the Global Brainstorm, creator of the Weather Forecast Way of Working and author of From Brainwave to Business. Here as part of my 60-day video blogging challenge today, in response to a video that one of the other ladies who's also been on this challenge put out with respect to her 12-year-old son, who was at that stage in life where he was beginning to stand up and take responsibility for his own actions, and in so doing was perhaps getting a little bit confused by some of the options and opportunities that were being open to him, not necessarily making the right choices and decisions at the right time. And so from a parental perspective, this then makes communication and understanding slightly more complicated and complex. And before boundaries break down, it's important to establish a common language, and that's what's so wonderful about this weather forecast way of working. Having used it with young people, I've seen firsthand how they really become engaged in that responsibility for their own future, in understanding that their life is nobody else's apart from their own, and in knowing that in actual fact there are people there to support their progress, and of course there are also going to be opportunities and options that don't necessarily take them towards where they want to go. By looking at it in this way, by being shown at an early age how to engage with a much more holistic brain, this empowers young people to really set out to strive for a future that they deserve, as opposed to listening to what's being told to them on the news about this bleak outlook, or indeed as opposed to feeling overwhelmed by that huge volume of information that's sort of bombarded from all sorts of different angles via the internet, via the TV, via peer pressure and from all other means. Instead of being influenced by that, learning how to harness it instead. And from a parental point of view, instead of constantly trying to control somebody else's actions, accepting these weather metaphors and accepting that other people are actually very much like the wind, totally and utterly out of our control. There for us to harness, there for us to set our sails so as to harness that energy to our advantage, but totally impossible for us to ever control. So if your teenager is that hurricane tornado that comes whirling through the house at a certain time of day, then rather than stand guard and ready to control it, start to accept that this tornado's fast approaching, batten down the hatches a little bit if need be, but allow the wind to blow through freely, setting your sails to harness it to your best advantage. And I do hope that you'll encourage your teenage children to take action, to take responsibility for their own future, to forecast a final one for themselves in the process, and to really acquire these fantastic decision-making skills that will support them in their greater growth throughout all different aspects of their life. So this one was particularly for George, and I'd love for you to pop along to the link and to test out this weather forecast way of working for young people, because the results that I have seen firsthand have been pretty much life-changing. From kids moving up math sets, from kids turning around from that cause that was maybe taking them into conflict with the law, to children finding that they actually have got to focus on what they want to do, setting up small businesses in the summer holidays. I had one girl selling cookies as a direct result of her session. And so this really is remarkable in the way it encourages people to take responsibility for their own actions and to think about something with a much more holistic brain. So I'll look forward to hearing how you get on using this weather forecast tool designed especially for people who are looking to make sense of their future. Thanks for listening.